Today I'm going to show off a brand new Casio that I think is probably the best budget beater watch you could buy on the market. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. And what a show we have for you, because it's on another awesome Casio. This is probably the best new released budget beater you can buy on the market right now, period. Now, last year I reviewed the amazingly legible AE1600, an absolute must buy for anyone with those aging eyes, you know. For under £30, you got yourself a spec beast. And yes, it is a tad big, with a diameter of over 50mm. There's a chance it could look big on your wrist. But wait! Casio have just released an absolute banger that looks as if it's inspired by the AE1600.
It has slightly smaller dimensions.
And I think the case design definitely looks a bit cooler. Even though I think this is a surefire win from Casio, there is a little niggle I have. I'll save that for a bit later. But it's happening on a lot of Casios these days. Anyway, let's show you the watch, tell you what I really think, and then, well, I guess we get the wife's first impressions as well. Are you Casio ready? Let's go! So, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. One of 3 new releases. Obviously, I had to go for the black resin one. Already, those guys and girls with the aging eyes are going,
right, where's my phone? I need to buy this now.
The legibility is right up there. But if we look at that case first, well, to me, it's definitely inspired by the G-Shock Square. There's no doubt about it. Also looks a little bit like the WS1700 I reviewed a few months ago. A little bit annoyed we don't have symmetry in the pushers. I want there to be one in the top right-hand side. As you can see, we have a light button in the bottom center of the case. That is cool, especially with that red text, but I would sooner have the light button on the top right-hand side, because these big stainless steel pushers are awesome. And I guess straight away it tells you we are not dealing with a G-Shock, because if we were, these buttons would be hidden or recessed. They are that big, you could knock a door or two with them, but I do like it. Now, like the WS1700 and the AE1600, we have faux screws. The only difference with these ones is they are colored different to the resin case, and I do like that touch. A lot of effort has gone into these faux screws, especially when you're only paying about £30. We have Illuminator printed on the case, which probably means it's going to be an LED amber backlight, like all new Casios. Gone are the days of electroluminescent backlights. That's just the way it is. Anyway, first impressions, this is a winner. Quick spec check. Okay, now this is still a big beast. If you like your Casios big, or you're used to wearing G-Shocks, this will be fine. We've got a 49.7mm diameter and a 54mm lug to lug. Like I said, it is smaller than the AE1600, but only that smaller. It weighs in at 52 grams. It's actually 15.9mm thick, which is 0.2mm thicker than the AE1600. We've got a resin glass protecting that LCD screen. And on that screen, wow, I absolutely love it. I love the 3 separate bits with the textured screen at the top and the bottom, making the time segment even more legible. We have a somewhat pointless animation going on at that bottom segment, but it's a Casio, and I love an animation.
Doesn't matter how pointless.
The only issue I have with this watch is the head-on legibility, people. Now, if you turn this watch at any angle, the legibility, the readability of the screen is top-notch. 10 out of 10. But if you look at it head-on, it does fade, which seems baffling because, like I've said in the past, the angle I like looking at my watch the best or the most is head-on. Straight on like this. Not at an angle like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. Straight on. And for it to be slightly faded
just pees me off.
And in actual fact, if you take a look at the AE1600, that does not have a faded screen at any point at any angle. It's a very small niggle with this watch, but I honestly don't know why Casio does it. Anyway, let's move on.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
I really do like the strap on this in terms of the way it integrates with the case. It's almost seamless. The resin rubber, well, it feels cheap, a little bit like your basic G-Shock resin. I never like to see surfaces like that. There needed to be some sort of pattern added to it, in my opinion. The buckle is plastic, but it is modeled after a G-Shock. I can see this being quite comfortable, you know. Inside this AE1600, we have a 3570 module. It's got a 10-year battery life. For £30, not having to worry about your watch for 10 years. Come on, people. This is why Casio are best in class. This watch is also water resistant to 100 meters, which is phenomenal. A lot of budget Casios are splash proof. 100 meters of atmospheric pressure means you are going to be able to take this watch on any adventure you see fit, and you're not going to have to worry about it ever. In terms of features, we have 5 alarms, a countdown timer, and a stopwatch. I like the animation on the stopwatch, I must admit. You don't get a time displayed in the stopwatch or countdown timer mode, which some people don't like. The last feature is a dual time, so effectively this is a GMT watch, and honestly it's all you really need, as long as you have a backlight. And as you can see, we don't just have one, we have 2 amber LEDs shining from the bottom corners of the screen, and I must admit it does do quite a good job at illuminating the surface considering how big a screen it is. Would I have liked 2 more LEDs in the top corners? Yeah, but it possibly would have taken the battery life down maybe half.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and do you know what? I really do like it. I do prefer it over the AE1500 just because of the size of the case. I get great G-Shock Square vibes out of this watch, and I get absolutely amazing legibility as long as I have it at a slight angle. The legibility is still pretty good face on, it's just slightly faded, which does annoy me a bit. Another one of those Casio watches that in my mind looks twice the price. I haven't even mentioned that great little WR in the top corner. There's nothing better than seeing a little splash of red on an all black watch, is there? So there we go, the AE1600, the best in class when it comes to budget. Everyday Casio watch, packed with a lot of features, ready to give you anything you need in a watch for the next 10 years, as long as you don't use the battery every other second. I bought this from Argos. There aren't too many places that sell it at the minute, but I honestly think this is going to be hugely popular in 2025. And for anyone that loves a budget, legible digital watch that lasts for a decade, this is your next best friend. So here it is, my wife's views on the beautiful AE1600. Oh great, another toy watch. I'm sure you've shown me this before, haven't you? No. I have to admit, it is very clear, but it feels cheap and nasty. Get it away. She doesn't know, does she? She just doesn't know. Yes, Casio Corner is back, and we have to say a big thank you to Sandeep Shetty in. This is a superb picture of the DW5700, and you know what? I don't show enough love for the 5700. It is an icon. I think it's the first circular or round G-Shock Casio ever made, and I must admit, in these colours, it does look awesome. It's a great shot, my friend, and thank you so much for tagging me in. If you'd like to be on the next Casio Corner, all you gotta do, find me on Instagram here and tag me in on one of your Casio posts. Because who knows, next time, the star of the show could be you. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this show. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, click there and join. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, come on, keep the algorithm monkey swinging. Go on, you'll love this one. This is great. This is superb. Go on. Casio. Go. In actual fact, go on, click it. You'll love it. Go on. Click it.